Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, a.k.a. PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative Podcast. It's the podcast where we have digital discussions, the worlds of social media, sports, pop culture, TV, film, and hockey, of course. We talk about it all here. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On Twitter, you know me as PD Beats. We got a returning guest on Popternative. He was on for one of our early panels with some of his previous teammates from the Moncton Wildcats in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. We call the Cool Cats. But my guest is a professional hockey player. He's a forward for the Arizona Coyotes in the National Hockey League. We are speaking to Conor Garland. Conor, welcome back to Popternative.
Thanks for having me back, Petey.
No problem, man. Crazy couple of months for you, starting the AHL game, the call up, scoring about 8 goals in your first year thus far in the National Hockey League. How's that transition been from the AHL playing in the NHL?
Yeah, it's a bit of transition for the first couple games, but the systems are all kind of the same, so it's a lot easier than coming from junior to actually the AHL. The jump is not as big as going from Moncton to Tucson. So it took a little bit to catch up to the speed, but feel more comfortable with every game I play.
What was kind of going through your mind when you found out that you got the call to jump in the NHL? You're having a point per game season with Tucson. What was kind of it? What was kind of going through your head when you got that call to the NHL with the Coyotes?
I was obviously excited. I just want to tell my parents right away. I was on the road, so I met the team on the road, and it was in LA. So it was actually nice where I got a few practices in before I actually played a game. I think they played 2 games, and I was in the press box for them, and then I got in. Luckily, I haven't come out since, but just to be able to get around the team, get more comfortable with some of those guys, and get some practices in was nice for me.
That must have been kind of difficult because it's like you're used to like certain guys playing with, hanging out with them on like non-game days, going to practice with them, and then like one day later, boom, completely new bunch of guys. You know what I mean? Like adapting to it must have been difficult.
Yeah, I mean they have a couple young guys up in Arizona right now that I've been in development camps with, and rookie camps, rookie games. So I knew a lot of those guys, and that's kind of an easy transition. And we actually had a goalie up, Aiden Hill, who was up for a bit with the Coyotes. So it's nice just to be able to, have someone pretty close. So that wasn't as bad as probably it is for some others.
So we'll do a little bit. We'll have a little bit of a blast of the past conversation here for a little bit, because for people who don't know you, I'm gonna use it. You don't like when I use it, but you are a legend in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League points wise. You're gonna be like, no, I'm not. But back to back 120 plus point seasons with the Moncton Wildcats. I mean, just unbelievable display of kind of skill and leadership as well. You talk to anyone that watched the Moncton Wildcats, fan favorite for life. Is it safe to say that players like yourself kind of obviously you're looking forward to the NHL, but you kind of take those experiences and those big games with you from the Quebec League to your pro game as well, Conor?
Yeah, I think one of the reasons I went major junior over college was because of the similarities between junior and pro, where there's a longer schedule, more travel, back to backs, and you learn how to be a pro at a young age. So it was pretty nice, and obviously the playoffs, college, I think it's one and done, and for junior you have some awards and 7-game series or 6-game series, which those memories last a lifetime, and when you get in the playoffs in pro. You kind of feel ready. It's not like you're new to it. So it was a huge learning thing for me to be able to go to junior at such a young age and become a pro at 16, and instead of learning on the fly at 20.
A lot of people are going to say that the transition from junior hockey to pro hockey is kind of the same stuff. It's a bigger game. It's a faster game. You know what I mean? But is there other things, not even on the ice, but maybe off the ice, that you've kind of noticed that were big changes from the junior career to the pro career? Obviously you said going to major junior, the schedules are the same. But I mean, one can make an argument it's a completely different world after that.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, in junior, you have a billet family who, depending on how how much they take care of you. I think mine took care of me a little too much. Did my laundry, cooked every meal, and I didn't have much worry. So and then you go pro and you're living on your own and you're trying to learn everything, outside of hockey on the fly as well, whether it's even just grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning. It's that's something you don't even think about. You try to think about hockey, but then you got to, start taking care of yourself and your life. So that's something you learn on the fly that people don't take into account. But the hockey wise, yeah, I mean, just the schedule in pro is obviously maybe a little more grueling, practices kind of turn into games in pro where, everybody's fighting to get in the lineup and, everybody's trying to get on the first line or power play. So it's a pressure. It's a lot of pressure when you're a young guy, and those seasons can wear on you.
Well, I find that's funny you mentioned that because, I had like Matthew Highmore, who's in the Chicago Blackhawks organization, played it for the Sea Dogs in the Q as well. I've had some games against him. He said that the grind in the AHL was like nothing he's ever experienced. Like he's had his opportunities to play a few games with the Blackhawks already, but he says like it's a grind in the AHL.
Yeah, I mean he's not wrong, especially in the West Coast or in the Pacific Division. You gotta, you fly everywhere, and the road trips are sometimes close to a full week. So it's hard. I mean, obviously, the NHL you're able to fly each city and direct and stuff, and the AHL is a little different. So, but the games are hard. It's such a hard league where everybody is one call away from getting to play in the NHL. So everybody's on every night. There's no off nights, and it's a grind of a league. That's you hit the nail on the head with that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the time has come to talk about it. You scored an unusual goal this season. Where, yeah, man, that was pretty intense to see. You got the goal. It was your 8th of the season, I believe, and hit your face and went in the net. And it's getting better. It's looking better, man.
Yeah, it's looking better. The only thing that's is my scar. I don't know, it's to the side, but it's fine. The eye's actually healing up. It was as odd of a goal as I ever had. I remember we were out there for a power play, and it kind of got extended where they didn't get it clear or something. So we were out there for a while, and I'm a net front guy. So I was just, standing in front, kind of catching my breath almost. And I think there was a shot or something. I got cross-checked from behind, and the puck got up to our point. And by the time I could get up and grab my stick and, put my helmet, slide it back on my head, the puck just drilled me right in the eye. And from there, I didn't know what hit me for a little bit. I knew something hit me. I was in blood everywhere, and I knew something had happened, but I wasn't quite sure until I was skating off the ice, and our captain said, nice goal. And I said, oh, boy, that's what hit me. So,
oh, man, the blood, though, like straight out of a horror movie, man.
Yeah, it was my fault for I put my glove in my face. So, like, I ruined my glove for the night in the next game where it was so dry. But, like, usually guys just, let the blood come out. But it was stupid of me to try to catch it. But and then I got to the training room, and I saw it on TV for the first time. Like, and I said, what? When it hit me, I swear I didn't know what had happened. So it took me a little bit to kind of get my bearings.
It's funny, shameless promotion here, but the World Junior Hockey Championship, Jakim Kondelik, he played for Czech Republic, Nashville Predators prospect. He also scored a goal in the tournament that hit him in the face and went in the net. It didn't bleed like yours, but he's also been on the show we're two for two for guys that score with their faces. So I don't know if that means anything.
It's a Petey Beats bump.
Oh man, but that got a lot of coverage. You're on social media here and there. I mean, that got a lot of coverage. Were you surprised the amount of coverage it got?
Yeah. I mean, like we always talk about. I never have a Twitter, or, I have an Instagram. But I mean, I saw a little bit of it. And some of my sister and my family showed me. Obviously, I did an interview after with Hockey Night in Canada, which was pretty cool. And I figured, that was most of what the conversation was about. So I figured it was going to be talked about. But we had a game the next day, actually. So it was kind of a quick turnaround from, enjoying that.
I don't know, man. I'm sure the conversation is not about the fact that you've played about 20 games. You're almost at the 10-goal mark in your first year. It's definitely not about that, right?
Yeah, no one asked how. I mean, they just how many. So I'll take it off my face if I can get another.
But you've always had a knack, Connor, of you say like a net presence guy, but you've always had a knack of like knowing who to pass to, knowing where to put it on net, knowing like where to put it in like a spot where there could be someone around there in the corners to dig and get in front of the net. I mean, that's something I'm sure you take pride on, the playmaking aspect of things.
Yeah, I think in junior I was definitely more of a playmaker, and I had some great line mates that always could find a way to get open, whether it was Barbashev or Askew or Weeder. There's a bunch of guys that could finish, so it was easy to play with those guys, and I kind of stayed out more on the outside and never really had a hard shot. So I did a lot more passing, but then you turn pro, and the guys, the way they cover guys is a lot different, where everybody just kind of crowds the net and almost boxes up and doesn't let much through. So if you want to score, you got to find a different way to do it. So I kind of just try to stand in front of the crease and see if I can get a few goals from there.
It's a lot of players on break because it's All-Star Weekend in the NHL. Who are some players that you've played with in the Coyotes that are some players that don't get as much love or attention as they should, that you've seen skill-wise or being a great guy in the room, Connor?
Well, Keller's at the All-Star game, but still, I don't think, I think he'd get a lot, maybe more attention. He's such a high-skilled player. He looks like, a young Patrick Kane almost, where
he's
can control.
He's chirpy on your Instagram posts. I love it.
Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't say anything nice about him, but he is very talented, and I'm on his power play, and he's the half wall guy. I get to watch him, and this kind of time he buys for guys and the space he creates for people he plays with is pretty cool to see up close. And we do have a great room of guys. Ekman Larson, and he's been at the All-Star game a few times, and someone who's been really good for us lately is our goalie, Kemper. Obviously, we had Rance go down early in the year, so to have Darcy come in and play the way he has been huge for our team.
So your nickname in junior hockey was Hockey Cat. You're playing for the Coyotes now.
Yeah.
So, but is that name still kind of around here and there, or is it completely gone?
Only if I talk to a couple guys on the Wildcats. That's the only time I hear about it. It's if I had dinner with Jacob Sweeney, and we FaceTime Steven Johnson. That was probably the first time I heard in a while. And Zach Malatesta likes to call me Hockey Cat once in a while, but it did switch to the hybrid for my last year, so I got away from Hockey Cat.
Man, the thing that I keep forgetting and overlooking is that photo of me, you, and Bauer with the bow tie there after one of the games. Malatesta took that photo.
Yeah.
I always think about that for some reason.
He's such a dork. But yeah, Bauer with his bow tie. I used to think he looked so good in that. I roomed with him on the road, and every time I see him put it on, I used to think it was the man. It was a tough look for him.
He's also the only guy to drink orange juice and dab on my show.
Yeah.
So
he is an all-timer.
He's gonna. We have to bring him. We have to bring him up because, if we didn't, I don't think he'd watch the show, and I think he'd be upset. Or I think even worse, he'd watch the whole show and feel like it was for nothing because we didn't mention him.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 4 years ago now when we FaceTime now.
Yeah.
It was Murph, me, and Bauer, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Murph is now a Mem Cup champ.
That was a live. That was a live broadcast. Times have changed. We don't do those anymore. But that was a live broadcast.
Yeah, that was risky.
What are some learning experiences so far that you've kind of taken so far this year? This year in hockey for you, Connor. It's been. Maybe protect your face more. I don't know. Sorry, I had to say it.
No, I think something I definitely learned is, I used to be someone who wanted to beat guys a lot one-on-one and, turn, and hold the puck for quite a bit. But you find out quick that, there's not many people in the NHL that are going to get beat one-on-one, even in the AHL for that matter. So there's a lot more trying to find times to make plays and other times just to dump it in and go get it. So, it's not as much a humbling experience as it is just, reality is you got to figure out how to, last in the league and, find those things out.
We know who you are on the ice. You're that guy, that kind of playmaker who could, get in front of the net, make the gritty plays, poke the bear a few times too. There's no surprise there. Who's Conor Garland off the ice though? What can you say about your off the ice character?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think. I mean, I'm probably just like any other 20-year-old. I like to, you know, play video games once in a while, and hang out with my buddies, and away from the rink, I like to go out to eat with the guys a lot. So, I mean, nothing too special. I mean, usually during the season, you don't do too much. I mean, the most I'm doing right now is just on vacation in San Diego and at the beach for most of the day, and that's really about it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Connor, thank you so much for coming back on Pop Alternative. I mean, you were in town last week, and because you become a two-timer, you got some swag. You got a Pop
I
Alternative
did.
pen.
It's in my kit bag. So I didn't want anyone to know I was skating off with a pen, so I had to hide it right away. So it's in my kit bag in the room.
That was really good. And where can people follow you on Instagram, man?
I think it's Connor.Garland8. So as easy as it gets.
Awesome. Well, Connor, thank you so much for coming back on Pop Alternative. Really appreciate it, and all the best for the rest of the year, man. Seriously.
Thanks, Pete. I appreciate it.
No problem. This has been
I'll talk to you soon.
For sure. This has been Pop Alternative, youtube.com/Pop for previous episodes. And until next time, this is Conor Garland and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Alternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Alternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Pop Alternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.